Hi, I'm John Miglosh with the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I got a little flummox today, as you can tell. And so we're going to talk about other stuff besides just prediction. And I was trying to put this all together and I got a little overwhelmed. Okay. But if you remember where we picked up on this wonderful article, 5 content trends to watch, and content marketing is becoming more popular. I like that one. Goals, yeah, you can be a thought leader. Here I'm a thought leader. I get, if I'm happy with 10 views a day. Like and share. And what I mean by share is, send a link to somebody. Post it out there on your LinkedIn and say this guy's all right, He's got some good perspectives. I think this is a good one. I think this is one that you can use to compete with Amazon. I think the point of curation is good, but if Amazon has every darn thing there is, then that's not the point. The point of maximizing customer value after the sale is just superb. Okay? And then telling people about it, getting testimonials. I worked with Fire Mountain Gems for a couple of years, and it was just wonderful. All the stuff they did to make sure you knew how to make the jewelry and that you had lots of jewelry patterns and you could learn how to modify it and adapt it to your own taste. And they really did have a community that they built. And they did better on Facebook than anybody else that I'd ever worked with as far as actually driving sales through Facebook. It was really good. And that's where I think you have to be if you're not Amazon. If you're Amazon, just put everything you can up there, get the vendors to do all the work, and be good at shipping. But for the rest of you, I think this is a good prediction. Okay. And nurturing. Yeah, you want to reach out to your customers. I've always said in the direct marketing, which really is remote buying space, you want to retain customers because they're not that easy to come by. They're a little bit rare and peculiar. And I would have, I remember in a B2B, I said to the son of the owner, you ought to call your best customers that haven't reordered. And he said, well, we don't have outbound telemarketing. And I said, you ought to call your best customers. He didn't get it the first time, And that's ridiculously simple these days. If you own the company and you're traveling and you're going to, back for the holidays or back home for the holidays or you're going to a conference, take an extra day or two and go visit your best customers in that geography. It's not that hard to do. And just shake hands. Don't try to sell them anything. Just say, what do you think of our company? What would you change if you were me? And this is lifetime value thinking. And the reason we have lifetime value thinking in the direct marketing industry is because we know that it's that customers are valuable. That it isn't just you don't just get them every day. It's not something. This thing is flickering at me behind me there. Okay, so I think that one's a great, excellent point. Both of those points are just super good for those of you who are not Amazon. Okay, and I hope I'll send Carrie Masters, my friend Carrie, who works with Amazon vendors, people selling through Amazon. Okay, and yeah, you might want to think about how to get your stuff distributed. Okay, so here's another one, and this one I just brought up just because I thought it'd be fun. Foldable phones to make a comeback. I would like to see phones you can hold in one hand. What an idea. I don't know. Steve Jobs died and everybody lost sight of that idea. I don't quite get it that I have to put a TV set in my pocket. I mean, it's great every now and then to be able to watch videos, but I can watch videos. Get bigger glasses. Okay, so I like that prediction. And global reserves of manganese will be fully mined and depleted. Of course, we might be able to go mine junkyards and find it again because it hasn't gone away. It's just been mushed into other stuff. I don't know the implications of that at all, but somebody decided to put that in their future forecast. Which brings me to my prediction. Oh, here, Volvo ceases production of new product lines of petrol cars. Okay, so that That doesn't mean they're not going to build gasoline cars. It means they're not going to develop new products in gasoline cars. And, so what? Volvo is not known for style. It's not like they're the Milan fashion designers of the car industry. They make reliable cars. Just keep making them. I think that's perfectly wonderful. Keep making the petrol cars and do the crazy stuff in the electric because nobody buys them for the most part. And people don't understand the logistics of it and how hard it is and but that's okay. The slow death of the carbon energy era. You know what? It just depends on if we're entering the next ice age or not. I have friends who point to the sun and say, that might have some effect. Does every day. It's warm in the day and cold. It was 45 this morning. I had a great motorcycle ride. Okay, so what my prediction is, direct mail marketing has never been more alive. What I want to say is, direct marketing, physical mail, I think this is so funny because they said physical mail is non-intrusive. And of course, back in the golden age, what we called the golden age, back in the 80s, everybody complained about all the junk mail they had to deal with, And I still, when I talk about it, of course, people come up and say, I get a Stoker catalog that big. I said, 100% recyclable. Put it in the recycle bin. Doesn't bother anybody. You don't have to look at them if you don't want to. But you know what? You probably will. Why have we moved from physical mail is non-intrusive to physical mail is it used to be intrusive? Well, because for one thing, that was the only thing that there was. Or you were watching TV, you're sitting in front of the TV, and the commercials gave you time to go get a beer. So compared to that, direct mail was intrusive. But compared to going on Facebook or going on CNN or anywhere else, and the ads are coming at you. ESPN is terrible. I was looking up scores, and all of a sudden a video popped up, and my wife says, "Turn that down." That's intrusive to me, which is fine. I'm not against intrusive, but why would someone think that a mailing piece wasn't intrusive? I thought this was hilarious. There's a social media marketing conference coming up in Milwaukee, and I'm considering going to it. $200. Guess what? They mailed it. They mailed me an invitation. I think that's so funny. Social media is so powerful. Digital is so powerful. How do you know? We told you in the mail. That's how you know. Yeah, that's great. Okay. So mail is non-intrusive because you can lay it down and you can then pick it up when you want to actually read it, or you take it to the restroom, which is what I did with it. You can deal with it on your terms. Is it intrusive? Sure. It comes right to your house. It connects with your brain 10 times more than sight. So anyway, why are we so enamored with prediction? I'll tell you. This is the trouble. There's always a knowledge gap between the past and the future. There's never enough data to make a decision. I watched a replay of a college game, where the one team was down by a touchdown, full touchdown, with 30 seconds to go. Okay, and not only did they were on their own 30, so they had to go the whole length of the field. They were no good at big plays, and not only did they win the game, but they did it in regulation, not in overtime. And you could never predict that. You could never predict how that game ended. And if I could remember the teams, but ESPN had a big piece on it. Ohio State, ranked number 2, got beat by Purdue. Nobody predicted that, except the kid with cancer. There's always a knowledge gap, okay? And that's why we love predictions, because they almost never come true. Now, that last batch of predictions, that wasn't any fun. Those were just things that were already announced, right? Volvo's going to do this. They were footnoted. Okay, so that's great. That's no fun. But the past is done. The future is not yet done. So the past is static, historical, accidental, and the future, where you're going to go, is where you want to be strategic. You want to be thinking about strategic. It's dynamic. It's open-ended. We can make electric cars, or we can make gasoline cars, okay? And that's what the marketing process is about, okay? And that's why testing is so much more powerful than sitting in your chair and making predictions. Because testing lets the marketplace tell us where we should go, rather than us just making it up from dead old data. And no matter how real-time your data is, it's dead. I'm John Miglautsch. Share this. Tell your friends. Come early. Interact. We'll have a great time. Oops, hit this button first. I keep doing that.